Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 72 of the Anime Banter podcast with your hosts, Turtle, Sean, and Mike. Thank you for joining us today. How are you two doing?
A little tired, but I'm happy to be here.
Feeling fine myself.
I gotta say, it feels like this week has dragged.
Opposite for me. It's flying by.
I feel like I was run over today.
That's fun.
I'm not going to get into it, but I feel like I got ran over today. It was a day.
Ooh, I had a dentist appointment today.
Ooh,
teeth.
Yeah. No cavities. A clean
Hey.
bill of health. They asked
Excellent.
me, "Are you flossing?" And I said no, and they said, "Oh wow, your teeth are really clean anyway."
Nice.
I love my dentist is one of the nicest people in the world, but his dental hygienist, she murders your mouth.
Oof.
You can floss, you can do everything, you can brush 2-3 times a day, whatever, and you go and your gums are just bleeding by the end of it.
Wow.
Yeah, I always have a little bit of blood because I don't floss. Sorry, anyone in the dental field listening. I'm sorry,
Ooh.
but I don't know. I'm in my 30s and I don't have any cavities, so
You better knock on some wood just to be safe.
That's true.
yeah. I've said it out loud before. I don't brag about it. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, somehow they thought it was weird. They're like, "You don't have any cavities in your 30s?" I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "It's kind of weird," and I'm like, "Is it? I don't know. I don't know how often people get cavities."
You're going to like hit 40 and then get all the cavities.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna need glasses too.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of my parents didn't need them till their 40s, and now they both have them. My mom just for reading, my dad for both.
Yeah.
And I'm like, great, can't wait to hit my 40s. I played too many video games, so my vision's probably gonna go before that.
Yeah, my vision started to go in like middle school. So I needed to see just about anything. I can still kind of read without them, but even though like as I'm getting older, I feel like I'm starting to lose that too. It's not great.
Hopefully you don't need glasses to see a movie, because Beetlejuice comes out
Don't
today.
say it.
Oh,
Don't say the third one.
I'll do
Don't
it.
say the third one. But then Michael Keaton will show up to my house.
That might not be terrible. He seems like a really nice guy from what I've heard. Actually, a coworker. He used to work at an Avis, I think, out by the airport, and he got to meet him once. He rented a car to him. Said he was really, really nice, really cool.
Yeah, do you think if you say it a third time Al Keaton shows up to your house, will he show up in full makeup though? Because I don't know if I
Ooh,
want that.
He'll be showing up like brushing his teeth, like what the hell? Like Michael Keaton, welcome.
I hope he shows up as the Batman.
Oh, Batman.
So we're getting Beetlejuice for the sequel. What are the odds we get a third one called Beetlejuice?
It might take another 20 to 30 years.
And
Is
by
Tim Burton
then,
directing this one?
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I thought he was. I mean, I'd be in for it. The first one's such a unique movie. I never thought we would get a sequel, but here we are, 2024, and we're getting Beetlejuice.
Almost 40 years later.
So who knows? Maybe a third one will be in the cards. We'll have to wait and see if Keaton even wants to do a third one.
Well, let's brush on. I do want to touch on the like wait 20 to 30 to 40 years and kind of do a sequel because, for example, like I really like Cobra Kai, and I'm kind of loving this whole like for a while Hollywood was doing, hey, let's take the old movie and just remake it with a new cast, and it doesn't really do that well typically in the theaters. They tried it with Judge Dredd, RoboCop. There've been a few others where they've kind of like just done that. Take the old movie. They tried rebooting Chucky, like Child's Play. They did Halloween that way. I think they did a Nightmare the 13th. No, Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm sorry, let's ramming my movies together here. Nightmare on Elm Street, and I'm glad that a lot of place are just embracing, like, for example, instead of Chucky getting that reboot, they just released a Chucky TV show. It takes place all these years in the future, and it's fantastic. They Cobra Kai, instead of trying to reboot the Karate Kid again like they did with Jaden Smith, instead of trying to reboot it again, they just continued the original universe just all these years later. And with this, I love this. I love continuity. I love seeing how the characters have grown after all these years. And I think what's really cool is that because Beetlejuice is already dead, he doesn't really age, even though Michael Keaton does. But the makeup hides all that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't typically see a lot of, movies, like, in theaters, but, this is one that I would definitely like to go and actually see in theaters.
I might as well. Though it comes out like right as I go on vacation.
Yeah. When's the release date?
September
6th.
6th, the day that
September
this
6th.
episode releases.
Oh, look at that. How about that? So, yeah, if you're listening to this and, you haven't seen it yet, it's apparently out now. Go see it.
And then a couple weeks later, we get the new Transformers movie, the Transformers 1, which I'm not sure if I want to see it or not. It seems like it's more a prequel.
I don't. I fell off that bandwagon after the second one.
Well, I don't think it's part of like the Shia LaBeouf movie series. I think it's like another take on Transformers.
Is it still, what's his name, Michael Bay?
No, it's all animated.
Okay, there might be hope for it then. I got sick of his movies. I didn't really care
Yeah,
for him.
yeah.
I People who follow the podcast might know, especially listen to the Toonami episode. I'm a huge Transformers fan in general.
Mhm.
But I'm very much ingrained in like Gen 1 and Beast Wars. So like my love for it goes that far back. And the movie is one of my favorite movies of all time. Not the live action ones, the animated one from the 80s. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And I look at this movie and I don't know, they're just like it's essentially before they were enemies, they were best friends. Optimus Prime and Megatron, yeah. And I'm like, this isn't a narrative that has been in a ton of media for Transformers. I understand that Transformers has so many iterations. They're like, well, hold up, Sean. You can't say like it's never been done. Maybe it has been done. Also, you have to respect that Transformers has so many different generations of Transformers content that you can't badmouth any of them pretty much because each one is just a little different. This holds no interest for me personally. I don't want to see a world where they were best friends, then they became enemies, hated enemies. I I just like that they were on different factions and became enemies. I just like it better that way. So I don't
There you
know.
have it.
I'll be passing.
There you have it, folks. Straight from the Transformers source himself.
Yeah, you guys can't see us, but Sean, when you mentioned like they were best friends, and then they became enemies, I definitely rolled my eyes. Like that's never been done before.
That's what I mean. It's just that it's horrifically unoriginal.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's fine. Every generation, maybe some kids will like it and get more into Transformers. Hasbro's got to make their money.
Yeah.
They always try to resurrect Transformers again. They're still selling Gen 1 remakes of Gen 1 Transformers to adults who are like 45 years old, and that's okay.
Hey, it's nostalgia. It can be a very powerful thing. We're all affected by it.
I am sort of looking to that Wild Robot movie that comes out on the 27th. It looked super cute.
I'm not
It's from
familiar with that one.
DreamWorks. From DreamWorks. I saw a trailer of it before Inside Out 2. I have some hopes for it.
The Wild Robot. I've never heard of this.
Yeah,
Me neither.
it seems super cool. But obviously, the big one is October 4th, Joker Part 2, where we get Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn.
I never saw the first one, and I heard it was actually pretty good.
It's good. It's long.
Okay.
But good.
I should probably go back and rewatch the first one.
I definitely do not mind long movies if it's good.
Same. Keep my attention, and I'll watch as long as you need.
Yeah.
There's also a movie about SNL coming out, like the very first, the beginning of SNL. which
Okay.
I'm intrigued by, I should say.
I wonder how scathing it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Like John Belushi, honestly, absolutely hilarious guy. If you go back and watch some of his old stuff, like sure, some of it's a little dated and some stuff like that, but some of it's actually like hilarious.
Oh yeah.
But I've heard him say quotes before, like they'd be like, "Oh, who's like the funniest female comedian?" And he's like, "Women aren't funny," And I'm like, screw you, John Belushi. You had talented women on the SNL roster with you.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
what do you mean women aren't funny? Also, he was a huge cokehead and died of a drug overdose. So like,
Yeah.
I guess that's part of the comedy, right?
I do have some hopes for it because it's being directed by Jason Reitman, who did the new Ghostbuster movies.
I need to see
Oh,
those
okay.
too. Shame on me. I don't watch a lot of movies, people. I'm
You
sorry.
don't. We're also
I
getting a new My
apologize.
Hero movie.
That I did hear about at least. I heard about that one. Because it's anime related, I know.
I'm not gonna watch it.
We're getting the final of the Venom trilogy with Tom Hardy, and boy, does that not look great.
I've never started the trilogy.
I have seen 1 and 2.
The first one was fine. The
Yeah.
second one was not fine.
No, I agree. Didn't care for it much.
We're getting an Overlord movie.
That I'm very excited for. Season 4 didn't really wow me, but
Yeah.
I am excited for the movie.
Yeah, I was also less than thrilled with season 4 of Overlord.
Yeah, I feel like it was maybe the plot that they were trying to cover was a little rushed compared to the other seasons. I know they skip a lot. I've been told. We have a friend who like reads the novels and he fills me in on some of the blanks. But I visually and just by watching season 4, I'm like, I feel like they're really flying through this plot.
I am intrigued by the Red One movie. It's the J.K. Simmons is Santa, and The Rock is like his bodyguard.
Huh. I don't know about that one either.
Then we're getting Gladiator 2 and Wicked Part 1. November's just like holiday season is just full of movies. Gladiator 2, Wicked Part 1, Moana 2, that animated Lord of the Rings movie,
Oh, I didn't even hear about that either.
Craven the Hunter, get all the Oscars ready for it.
Blah.
Oh, dude, it looks Madam Web tier. Did you guys see
Very
Madam Web?
troubled.
No.
I have not. I did see Morbius when that came on Netflix. I was just curious. I had heard all the things. I'm like, I gotta just see how much of a train wreck this is, and it was not fantastic. So part of me is kind of excited for Craven to see how shitty it's gonna be, but not that I want it to be shitty, but I'm expecting it to be shitty, and it's probably gonna be shitty, right?
I saw Morbius in theaters and I saw Madam Web on streaming. Um, I thought Madam Web was worse than Morbius.
It kind of
Ooh.
seems that way from the internet buzz that I've heard, but I have not seen it yet.
The thing is, I didn't hate Morbius that much. If that movie came out in like 2003, it would be considered a pretty solid movie.
Yeah, but
But
it
we
didn't
our
come out in
standards
2003.
our standards have like increased greatly since then.
Yes. Yeah, it not great. So I don't expect Craven to be very good. So I don't know if I will go. In fact, I'm probably not going to see it in theaters just because I don't want to give Sony more money and give them the idea that we actually care about these movies that they're trying to make they're just butchering these characters.
We're getting another live action Lion King, this time about Mufasa.
Ugh,
Again,
good gosh.
I did see
it
that.
tells the story of how Mufasa and Scar were best friends and brothers growing up.
They've
Well, hold on,
never
that's
done that
actually real
before.
though. That's actually real though.
Yeah.
Like in Lion King, they actually go over that
Well,
one.
well, no, they're not. But in the trailer, they're not actual brothers.
That's true. I did see the trailer.
Like they adopt
They
Mufasa
adopt
into the
Mufasa. Is
family.
that what it was?
Yeah. Yep. And
What?
they're like brothers.
I thought they were brothers.
Nope, not according to the trailer.
Yeah, I thought in the original animated movie that they did say that they were brothers,
Yep.
but this trailer, like they adopt. Mufasa, and they are bestest of friends, and then something's gonna go down, and well, we know how it ends. I think it's a weird choice to do a prequel for that, but what do I know?
You
Yeah.
slap the Lion King logo on there, people pay money to see it. I will pass, dude. All the live action Disney stuff, it was so much better as animated and as a musical the way it is. So just let it
Yeah.
go.
I tell you what, the only one that I was kind of interested in to see what they would do was Sword in the Stone because I really enjoyed that movie, the animated movie. I always thought that was a pretty good one. And when they announced like we're gonna do all the animated movies but do them as live action, I was like, Sword in the Stone might be interesting, maybe. But
Are they
after
doing Sword in the
seeing,
Stone?
I think they
No.
announced back in the day that they were going to. They probably have canceled that because that wasn't like a super popular movie, I think. But that was one of my favorite Disney movies. It was funny, it was silly, it had magic.
I always liked Archimedes.
Yeah, right. That was a good one, man. So that one I kind of had hopes for, but I don't know if they're ever going to follow through and actually do that one. They're going to make Lion King 2 and 3 and 5.
But let's not bury the lead with Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which looks amazing.
Oh, dude, right before we started recording, you told me that they dropped a trailer, so I had to watch it, and it does look awesome.
The Shadow on a motorcycle doing the Akira slide.
it,
Like I'm like, dang.
it's tied into anime, people. See what we did there? Anime Banter podcast.
And
Akira? Yeah.
Jim Carrey's coming back.
I really like him as Robotnik. That was wonderful casting, and I'm so
Yep.
glad he's like retired, but he keeps coming back to at least do this character because he's very good as this character. I love him.
It's because he actually has fun. It's like the one rule that he does where he's like, this is actually just like super fun. And I hear they just let him do whatever he wants for the most part.
And the energy and the fun that he has comes across to the viewer, and it's a beautiful thing when he is like when he's on, he kills it, and he kills it with this role. He's so good.
But I will say they're cowards for not including Rouge the Bat.
It's Sonic 4, right?
Three. What the new one's three.
Yeah, it is. Well, we'll get Sonic 4, and then they'll do Rouge the Bat.
Nah, dude, they're scared.
I mean
They
that's fair. I mean, can you blame them?
yeah, they're gonna get calls from parents that'll be like, this animated bat is too sexy, and like I won't take my kid to see it because they'll end up like the freaks on the internet who you know, well, I won't go too
do
much further into
do
that.
things that are on the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them for being scared for that one, but hey, who knows? Sonic 4 could happen. They'll redesign her a little bit and change her outfit a little bit, and she's still there, and maybe who knows? But yeah, I don't blame them for being afraid of that one.
Yeah, they absolutely should be. I thought we'd get Amy though. I thought we could potentially see Amy in one of these, but
That's a fair point. I forgot about her.
like I'd be cool with that.
Maybe she will show up. Maybe they're not going to drop her in the trailer. Obviously, maybe that'll be a something that she'll appear in toward the end of the movie or something. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be that way. They could be saving some surprises for us.
Maybe we'll get a second trailer and they'll drop a tease of Amy. Who knows? But that's a good call. We could get Amy.
Well, shall we veer off the movie talk to discuss the anime talk?
I guess we could just talk about Sonic some more.
Sanic. You gotta go online, you type in your name and then the hedgehog, and the first image result is the hedgehog that you are.
What? Hold on. I gotta do this.
Yeah, like I typed in Sean the Hedgehog, and I got from Deviant Art, name Sean Strike, age 16, species hedgehog, fur color golden blue, eye color turquoise, likes video games, girls, basketball, and music, dislikes show offs, jerks, obsessive girls, school, and spiders. So that's Sean the Hedgehog, according to Google image search.
Wow. Yeah, I did a search as well, and my deviant art image that popped up is very edgy, very edgelord. Jeans, the black jean jacket coat, white shirt underneath, blue scarf, like a dark blue, with frosted tips. He's got the frosted tips there too. Some kind of like gloves.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very 90s edgelord happening with this hedgehog art. So very cool. Google yourself the hedgehog and
And then cringe.
yeah, enjoy that for like a minute.
Mine is green with blue mouth and blue stomach with gray gloves. He likes running and breaking the rules. He dislikes Sonic. He has a rebel personality, and his power is super speed and high intelligence.
Very nice.
Extra cringe. Love it.
Tell us
Leave in the
your
comments
I was gonna say
leave in the comments who your hedgehog is like. Let us know.
your deviant art hedgehog. Today we are talking about episode 10 of Kaiju number 8 and episode 148 of My Hero Academia. Kaiju number 8, episode 10. Secret revealed. What do you guys think the secret is?
Something to do with Kafka's hedgehog, I think.
Ooh, I wonder what color it
Yeah,
is.
I think one of the characters is in the closet, and I haven't figured out which one. We're gonna get that gay reveal soon.
It'll happen today. We'll find out.
No, you know what's going to happen, Sean. This is the day we find out that Shinomiya and Kafka are lovers.
Oh no, they've had a secret relationship the whole time.
Yep,
Oh, there it is.
just for
Oh,
you,
you got to
Sean.
report that to HR.
Just for you, Sean.
No, I will never accept that ship. There been I haven't Googled it or anything. I bet you in the Kaiju number 8 subreddit there's some degenerates who ship that.
Somebody out there has to ship it.
I don't.
We get a recap of the fight of Hoshina and Big Red from episode 9 to kick off this week's episode. But Big Red has transformed into Mega Big Red. Mega Big Red, we learn, is too big for Hoshina to take down on his own. Kafka is having a bad time with his head, like he heard one too many country songs. Hoshina attempts technique number 3 on Mega Big Red, and it's not very effective. Hoshina attempts to slice at his ankle to no effect. Hoshina has hit his operational limit and starts to spit up blood. Some wyverns start going kamikaze mode at Hoshina. Hoshina attempts technique number 6 and gets absolutely wrecked. We get a flashback to a young Hoshina, and we learn the era of the blade has passed, and what we assume is his father tells him to give up on the defense force. Back to the present day, Hoshina stands up and wonders what he should do in the fight against Mega Big Red. Mega Big Red is destroying the city. Hoshina stands up and tells Mega Big Red, "I didn't hear no bell," and attacks with Hoshina style technique number 1. Mega Big Red is completely no-selling the attacks as a kamikaze wyvern hits Hoshina.
Not looking real good for our boy here, is it?
He's had better days.
Yeah, he's having a pretty rough time.
Talk about a tough day at work. I almost blew up today.
Multiple times.
Some kamikaze bird.
We get another flashback of young Hoshina with his father telling him once again to give up. We learn that Hoshina's unleashed combat power with guns is low. We flash forward. Hoshina is in the defense force, and his commander tells him to give up as the kaiju that are appearing have been more giant class, and if he can't use a gun, he's done.
I still think it's a good thing to have variety on a team, so I just find that strange.
Well, I guess gun was like the standard issue item, right? So like if you can't use the standard issue item, then like what good are you? But there are all kinds of little kaiju.
Exactly. I mean, look at the mushroom guy. Sure, there was a big mushroom, but he was spewing little mushrooms. So there's no reason that our boy Hoshina can't take to the streets and start slaying these little guys.
We gotta think about like Hoshina or Mina versus like Kaiju number 9, right? I could see a world where Hoshina's more effective because he's the same size as Kaiju number 9, potentially,
Right?
potentially. Whereas the gun, well, I mean, if he's able to get With Mina, it's all about if you can get close. If you get close, she's screwed.
Right, because that's not a gun. That's like a friggin' cannon she's wielding. So
Yeah,
typically, she's off in the distance. If Kaiju number 9 sees that and dodges that shot, that does nothing. With Hoshino on the ground, he can get up in the face and use his speed and cut the guy to ribbons. So, yes, there is a use for a blade.
Hoshina is tired of people telling him to give up, and the only person to tell him otherwise is Mina. In a flashback, we see Mina reviewing Hoshina's file and sees that he is a blade specialist. He assumes that she's going to tell him to just give up, but she asks him to join her force instead. Mina says she's only a threat to herself with a blade and wouldn't trust herself with a kitchen knife.
Yeah, that's me.
I feel like we all know someone like that.
Yeah, keep that away from me.
yeah, but I like the. I want to say that I like this group. It seems like I'm not saying that they are a force of oddballs, but I think they have a unique eye for talent and are willing to think outside the box. Because like Mina recruits, um, Hoshina, who then recruits Kafka, and these are like non-traditional members of the military or of the kaiju defense force. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I think it's really fun to follow this group of people.
Hoshina is back at trying to attack Mega Big Red with various techniques. Mega Big Red eventually gets tired of his shit and catches him in midair. Kafka calls out to him. Kafka is ready to transform into kaiju form, but Ichikawa yells out, "He can't do it! He can't allow everyone to know about his secret." But Kafka refuses to allow Hoshina to die. Just as he's about to transform, Mina calls into the squad saying, "Good job holding down the fort." Hoshina tells Mega Big Red he lost as Mina shoots with her BFG. Mina says there's no time for protocol and starts blasting.
Fire, 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 fire.
So anyway, I started blasting. Yeah, no, this is cool as heck. I love when anytime Mina shows up, they did a good job of giving her aura. You know what I mean? Like when she shows up, it feels like a big deal, and you
Yeah.
know that the kaiju's gonna get messed up. So, yeah, they did a really good job of selling her to the viewer.
And I love like the little details with the animation. Like I think we've talked a few times that like this animation is really good, but it is really good. I really like, she fires the shot, and I don't know if it happens here or coming up in a minute, but like her pet tiger, which they still have yet to explain, actually like holds her so she doesn't, go launching backwards. And it's such a quick moment, but it's such a great detail that they didn't have to put in, but chose to put in, which just makes everything better.
Having a pet tiger for recoil control is absolutely insane. Like I said, I want tiger lore.
Yes, the tiger named Tiger. We need some lore on this cat.
Mega Big Red screams at Mina as she shoots him once again with White Tiger looking on. Mega Big Red is able to regenerate from the shot. Hoshina charges at Mega Big Red to try to attack once again, but fails. Shinomiya is on the scene with her axe, and it doesn't work. Hoshina and Shinomiya begin working together to slash at Mega Big Red. Mina shoots, once again exposing its core. Everyone teams up on Mega Big Red to provide cover fire for Mina, Hoshina, and Shinomiya. Hoshina continues to slice at Mega Big Red. As Mega Big Red is about to eat Hoshina for dinner, Mina shoots the core, making Mega Big Red go boom.
I love that kaiju. When they do shows like this, a lot of times it just seems like every character except for the main character is incompetent. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Yeah.
what the yeah, they do that stuff a lot. Like, you go back and watch Dragon Ball Z, like every character is pretty much incompetent except Goku. Like for the most
Yamcha.
part. Yeah, like and they could have a whole series full of Yamchas if they wanted to. But I love that the Defense Force does not need Kafka. They've been doing this for years, taking down big kaiju. And maybe this is one of the strongest ones they've ever taken down. But that's what they're trained to do, and that's what they're good at. And they succeeded here, and I love that they, like I said, don't need Kaiju number 8 to necessarily to take out a Dai Kaiju.
Yeah, absolutely love the teamwork in this episode. It does a great job at showcasing some of the major characters and like what they can do, but then even when they stumble, like Shinomiya, goes to swing the axe and it bounces off, and Hoshina is immediately like, "I will cut you a path. I'll cut through the skin, and then you smack it and do some real damage." So like the teamwork on an instant, and like these two haven't really like fought together on the battlefield, but Hoshina has the experience to go, "I can cut through to give you a good swing at it." It's just the teamwork all around from everybody, to me, was just really impressive the way that they set it up, where even the minor characters got a chance to shine to do something important.
Everyone begins to celebrate the death of Mega Big Red. We see how beat up everyone is. Kafka is crying at how cool Mina, Hoshina, and Shinomiya are. Ichikawa takes a dump on Kafka's emotional moment. Heartless bastard. White Tiger senses something is amiss. Everyone looks up to see a red ball in the sky, with all the wyvern flying into it to make a super massive kaiju bomb. The bomb, we learn, is equivalent to a nuclear bomb.
Yikes.
Yeah, well, I was talking about how much I like that they let other characters do things, and then they do this.
Yeah,
I mean, Kafka needs his moment somewhere.
true, he does. And
How else are they going to find out about a secret advance the plot?
this is a hell of a moment for him to come out of the closet.
Well, him and Shinomiya were going to take everyone else out to a nice dinner and tell everyone that they've been dating for the past couple months.
No.
Search your feelings, Sean. You know it to be true.
No. No.
I don't think anybody lost a hand though. It's not Star Wars unless somebody loses a hand.
Well, Jujutsu Kaisen must be Star Wars then, man. I feel like people are losing their
Yeah.
limbs left and right.
There's all kinds of losses there.
Mega Big
Demon Slayer
Red.
does that too, I think. Sorry, yeah.
That's Mega Big Red is still somehow talking. All right, we'll call it a draw.
What?
Kafka runs past everyone. Ichikawa tries to stop him. Hoshina is trying to figure out how Kafka got so fast as Kafka jumps into the air as Kaiju Kafka. Hoshina is stunned at Kafka being Kaiju number 8. Kafka asks for forgiveness from everyone.
Inner monologue style. I don't think he actually says anything out loud. I think it's all inner monologue. But what a moment, right?
Hey, the secret was revealed, everyone. It's like the title said.
Yeah.
Wait,
The thing.
do you guys mean to tell me that Kafka's Kaiji number 8?
What?
I thought he was going out with Ichikawa. What's going on?
No. They're going out. He's going out with Shinomiya.
Oh, and Ichikawa's the side piece. Okay.
Yeah.
They're in a thruple. I hate
Is
that I
that
said that out loud.
I've never heard that term. Is that the correct term for this?
Oh yeah, it's when there's like three people in a polycule.
Okay.
Like a 3-person couple. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
It's like a three-person polycule. For the polyamorous folks. Then again, I'm not poly, but I don't have a problem with people are poly. I just don't really care. People can do whatever the heck they want as long as they're not hurting others.
Right. For sure. But that's just a term I've not heard before. I kind of put it together, but
Turtle, you're a little behind on your polyamory lingo.
well, I'm rather anti social media, so I stay off that. So a lot of these terms I don't hear.
Yeah, I was gonna say my wife is part of the LARP community, and polyamory is very popular in that community.
Mm.
So I meet people, and then I hear about the stuff that they have going on, and I'm like, dang, that's wild.
So I'll just use you as my encyclopedia for stuff I don't know. You can
Yeah,
fill me in.
I'll help guide you. I'm chronically online and I have brain rot from it, so just I'll teach you all about Riz and Skibbity and all the good stuff.
Kafka powers up. He launches himself at the kaiju bomb and punches it into the atmosphere. Kafka free falls to the ground and lands hard. Mina tells everyone to hit the deck as the kaiju bomb detonates in the atmosphere. Kafka is able to withstand the blast. Mina walks up to Kafka and begrudgingly aims her gun at him. Mina takes Kafka into custody to end the episode.
What an ending, though.
Holy smokes.
Hell of an ending.
Yeah, I was really really tempted to watch the next episode. Like, how could you leave me this way?
I was gonna say, could you imagine if this was the season 1 finale and they just ended it right
Oh,
there?
That'd be dirty.
oh, I would be so upset.
Like, imagine that as a cliffhanger to end the season.
Oh God, the rage. It's not real, and I'm upset. I'm angry thinking about that.
It's one of those times you just go and start reading the manga. I've done that before for anime where I finished season 1 and I'm like, yep, I'm just gonna read the manga now.
I can't wait.
Yeah, well, I almost did it with Free Ren. I'm gonna wait on it though, because I tried reading the first few chapters of Free Ren, and it's good, but like without like the anime is so well presented
Yeah.
that like it's really hard to go from the anime to the manga. So like I might wait, but depending on how long they take, I might not. But also, if the manga just ends up like apparently the manga's on hiatus, so I'm like, great, if it's just Berserk all over again, why even read the manga?
Oh, please don't be. Because
All all the greats just can't get it done, you know.
oh, I really enjoy Berserk, and for as messed up as it is, it's a great story, and I was very upset, when he passed away, of course, and they announced like, okay, we were his team, we know what he wanted, we're gonna pick up the torch and we're gonna keep going, and that still is at a snail's pace, is it not, for the release?
Yeah, it is. I think that the problem is they had to gather like a lot of notes and go through a lot of stuff, and like
Sure.
the author took over as one of his friends, Miura's friends.
Okay,
So like he knows how it's supposed to end. He just has to like figure out how to get there, I
I got
think.
you.
So but yeah, that's difficult, right? To like and also that he's a mangaka as well. So I don't know if he has works that he's working on.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if he's like doing double duty, yeah, it's gonna take a long time.
But yeah, it's I kind of fell off that because like I watched the original '90s anime for that, and I really loved it. And I started to read the manga because I was like, there is no more, so I have to read the manga if I want to know what happens next. And I got as far as I could at the time, but have fallen off, and it takes such a while, a long time to get those chapters out that I have not read in a really long time.
Yeah, it's like how long did you fall off? And you're like 6 years ago. I'm like, oh yeah, you got about 10 chapters.
It's been a little bit longer than 6 years, but I need to go back and reread it and kinda get caught up one of these days.
Fine, 20 chapters.
Right?
It comes out that slowly, unfortunately.
Yes. But, yeah, I mean, this is if this was the ending to season 1, I would absolutely be losing my mind, and I would be hitting the internet to read the manga for this.
But we have 2 more episodes.
I was gonna say, thankfully, it's not the season 1 finale. What did the two of you think of this episode?
Loved it.
Good episode. One
Yeah,
of the
Yeah,
one of the best ones, honestly, in this series, I
I
think.
I would agree. I think they keep outdoing themselves. Just when I think, like, this is, like, peak, the next episode comes out and they're like, "Oh, look, you just outdid yourselves again."
yup. Yeah, you guys summarized it perfectly. Amazing episode, one of my favorites.
And this was one of the moments I talked about before that I was like really excited to see. How are they going to have Kafka reveal his kaiju powers to everybody? And you see a lot of rinse and repeat things when you watch a whole bunch of media, especially like a lot of anime. There's a lot of tropes within uh, this media. So I was just like, how are they going to do it? And this is not something I saw coming right away. And when they showed the bomb up top, I was like, oh, what's he going to do? And just like the epic punch where he launches it into the sky. He lands with this huge dust cloud of like he's making a crater like DBZ. And then he stands up to shield the two people behind him from the blast. And he just stands there. Like he's got no energy left. He's using all he has to just block the shockwave to save those two people. It was just so epic, so well done. 10 out of 10 this episode. It was amazing.
I gotta tell you, I'm thirsty after talking about Kaiju number 8.
Rather parched.
Indeed. And you know what they say? Alcohol is the best medicine. And that means it's time for Mike's Beer of the Week. This week's beer is the Asahi Super Dry, a 5% Japanese rice lager. Guys, I finally went to Kura Sushi and it was amazing.
Woo!
Heck yeah.
So good.
Unfortunately, this beer, not so much. It's pretty much the Japanese Miller Lite. So, Sean, you would give it a 5 out of 5.
It's funny you mentioned that, Mike, because I was going to chime in after you gave your ranking, and I was going to say this is one of my actual favorite beers of all time, and I give it a 5 out of 5.
The untapped average rating is a 3.13, and I give it a 2.75. So, Sean, I'm glad you enjoy it. It's not for me.
It was fun getting one in Japan.
Oh, I'm sure. It's
I mean, it
probably
tasted
better.
pretty much the same, honestly.
I was gonna say it might have. I thought it would have been better just because it's closer to the source.
I mean, they also say Guinness is better in Ireland, and I didn't, Well, I don't like Guinness, so it just doesn't help.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but there's some people listening at home with getting their noose ready for me because they heard me say Guinness bad, Asahi super dry good. Let's change the subject. Oh, we have a second show to review, right? Right, Mike?
My hero.
Indeed, let us shift gears to My Hero Academia, Season 7. My Hero Academia, Episode 148. Wounded Hero, Burning Bright, and True. And hey, we have a new opening credit song. Turtle, why don't you tell us about it?
Can I just say, like, this is a really weird choice to have a new opening and closing theme for episode 9 of the season? I mean, wouldn't you normally like do episode like 13 or something, which is like, part 2 or season 2 of whatever show you're working on, not like episode 9? It's really weird. The new opening song is called Curtain Call by Yuri. I do like it more than the previous opening. It's a solid rock song, and the visuals are like the heroes and the villains with their past and present, in order to show like character growth. You know how they got from little kids to where they're at now. So song's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's like stellar, but the last one I didn't really care for, so I do like this one a little bit better than what that one was. So I'd give this song 3 out of 5 star.
Did anyone real quick whenever the episode title Wounded Hero Burning Bright and True, anyone else think of the Tiger Burning Bright poem?
No, I forgot that existed until you mentioned it just now.
Yeah, all I could think when it said Wounded Hero Burning Bright, I was like Tiger Burning Bright in the forest of the night. So like I don't know. If you've never read The Tiger, Tyger by William Blake, I suggest looking it up because it's I'm not a huge poetry guy, but that's a really like catchy one.
You remember
That
the
I
author.
like.
That's awesome.
Oh no, I looked up the author.
I was gonna say, I'm impressed. I didn't even remember the poem until you started saying it. I'm like, I think we did cover that in school once.
Yeah, I would say don't get me don't give me too much credit. I googled it after I thought about it, but that's a good poem.
Yeah, awesome.
Back at the All for One battle site, Earphone Jack calls All for One a moron. She's pissed he made her friends cry. All for One attempts to attack her, but all the quirks he has stolen are trying to stop him from attacking a child. We learn that all of Hawk's attacks have been in the same spot to create a small crack in All for One's headpiece. And with his next attack, he's finally able to crack it. Dark Shadow goes in for an attack. You know it hits when the word SMASH appears on the screen. All for One's headpiece is completely destroyed.
About time. Bring this guy down already.
I gotta say that I did like the visual. I always thought Dark Shadow was one of the best like quirks in the series. So that was a good one. Um, Meanwhile, Earphone Jack though, I think her anger is misplaced. She's mad that he made her friends cry, but I'm like, you should probably be mad because one of your earphone jacks, you know, half of your powers, is missing now because he chopped it off. So I'd be more mad at that personally. Just saying.
I'm sure you can just glue it back on. It'll be all right.
She'll just get the support staff to build her a new one.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder if it grows back.
I was
You know what I
also
mean?
wondering that.
I was thinking that.
Is it like
It's
a limb or is it some? I don't know.
it's like her earlobe, right? I mean, if you get your ear pierced and then you take the piercing out, it can heal up. So maybe it'll grow back. I don't know. I'm curious.
I would guess no, but anything could happen.
I mean, there have been records where limbs have been removed and reattached and still function. So maybe they can just reattach it. You got what's the nurse lady? The old nurse lady. She'll just kiss it and make it better.
Oh, yeah. I forget what her name is.
Yeah, I can't remember
Yeah, but
either.
you know who
You
I'm
caught
talking
me. I
about.
can't remember.
Yes.
Right.
The old nurse lady. Her lips stretch out like 40 feet and she can kiss something and then it heals. So she'll be all right.
Kiss your boo boos. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
All for One tells us that since he lost all of his senses, he's been looking for quirks that can mimic each sense. But he finds it odd that he couldn't sense Dark Shadow's attack. I gotta say, the whole senses quirks are really failing this season between All for One and Deku.
It's true.
Hawks goes in for the attack as we see All for One eat one of the quirks that was holding him back. That was a weird scene.
Yeah, the big mouth. That I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that. That threw me a little bit.
Yeah, that was weird.
I know that's all like internal mental thing, but it was just bizarre to see.
But also, I do want to throw it out there though that this whole like my quirks are rebelling against me because they don't want me to hurt children. I'm like, this is the meanest guy like
Yeah,
in the world. Do you think his quirks give a crap, man? Some some freaking like he probably like took some person's quirk who didn't want it anymore in exchange for like a fat stack of cash. You know what I mean? These quirks don't give a crap that he's like attacking teenagers. Like what is the quirk? The quirks don't have a mind of their own unless they're specifically a quirk like um one for all.
I just like if that was even a thing, if that was even possible, like why would they wait until now? Like I would be rebelling the entire time if that's even a possible thing.
Yeah, why not rebel against one of the other monstrosities that he's done, right? You know?
Yeah. Why wait for a kid? I'm sure this is not the only kid that this dude has like assaulted or murdered or whatever, stolen quirks from. This guy's a bastard. Like why would you wait till now?
Yeah, they could have stopped him from like brutally hurting All Might back then. You
Yeah.
know, could have done that. Um, that baffled me. This is some weird like power friendship type of stuff.
Oh
You know,
no.
like I know there's no friendship stuff here, but you know what I mean. Like some Deus Ex Machina to inexplicably have him not kill these teenagers.
There is friendship though. You made my friends cry. There it is.
Oh, that's true.
The power of
That was
friendship.
so inspiring.
All for One is able to reform his mask, and Endeavor loses his hand, completely no-selling it. We see an Endeavor in a school uniform talking to a beaten-down Endeavor and calls him trash. It's an Endeavor origin story time, folks. We learn that Endeavor's father was killed. Student Endeavor keeps stacking on the insults.
I have an issue with the pacing of this, and it's these flashbacks is my issue. Not that the information they tell us is bad, but like when you present this is just doesn't seem right to me. But go on.
Especially because, like, the flashbacks that we just saw in Kaiju number 8 with Hoshina were so well done.
Yeah, I mean, I found it a little jarring, but they were brief and it wasn't too bad. This is like action. We're going to stop the action to do some explaining first and then go back to the action because that's not annoying. So
I was
I
going
don't
to say,
know.
we'll get into it in my general thoughts, but one of my
Yeah.
issues with this season of My Hero has been all the cuts.
Yeah, like the lack of flow.
Yes.
There has to be a better way to do this.
Just fight each other.
Shut up and fight.
Shut up and do me.
But go on.
Endeavor grows a flame hand and connects with All for One's face, once again shattering the mask. All for One is having flashbacks to his fight against All Might. Time for Endeavor to show why he's number one. I am absolutely loving the visuals of pissed off Endeavor attacking All for One.
This is kind of what I've been waiting for this fight. Like I want Endeavor to just go all out and roast this guy. So it's finally nice to see this happening. Get mad.
Kamui Woods, the tree hero, tells the other heroes to run away!
Run away! Run away!
Endeavor is coming to beat that ass. Endeavor is dragging All for One against the ground. All for One attempts to steal Endeavor's quirk, but he burns his hand. Endeavor flies into the atmosphere with All for One. Weird timing that our episodes this week have had two heroes flying into the atmosphere. Endeavor locks in a bear hug and attacks All for One with Prominence Burn.
Oh, the visuals here were really good.
They
I
are.
will, yeah. This fight scene has had amazing visuals.
So
And
I'll give them some credit for this.
I briefly want to touch on when Endeavor burned All for One's hand. He used eye lasers. That was my favorite part of the episode. Was not expecting that.
You really make fire come out of anywhere, huh?
He shot fire lasers out of his eyes.
You think he's
That
lighting
was
up
sick.
farts? You know what I mean?
What if he can't control it? Because
Oh
just like
no.
gas is flammable, right? So it's just that's what it is. Get ready.
Everyone looks at the bright light in the sky. They really should be wearing glasses to not go blind. All for One is looking pretty toasty. Hawks tells him to get away. All for One says he's been looking to dispose of this body. We see Airy, and then we see All for One's body beginning to regenerate.
So I've read the manga,
Cheater.
and
Boo!
it's it's gonna get wild, guys.
Oh no. I was kind of bummed by this. I was ready for him to just be like roasted and like I don't know, transfer his essence into Shigaraki or something stupid. So I have no idea where this is going, but the whole regeneration thing, I'm just like, okay, here we go.
I kind of like it actually. Like I didn't trust me at this point. I was like, really, and then I saw what happened, and I was like, this is interesting.
All right,
So yeah, keep an open mind towards it because usually the enemy regenerating after the like it kind of it makes everything they've done almost feel kind of worthless, right? You're like, why do I haven't watched the past couple episodes?
right,
You know, he's like, I'm gonna regenerate my body, and it's like, well, if you want to regenerate that badly, why don't you just do it yourself? Like like a couple hours ago. Like, what are you waiting for this for?
yeah,
Like, but no, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. So
all right,
enjoy the ride.
all right. I have an open mind. We'll see what they do.
We get to the midway break for the episode, And you thought we were going to go back to Endeavor and All for One, right?
I
Nah.
sure did.
Well, sorry to disappoint you. We're going to the
Yeah.
Coffin in the Sky instead.
More cutaways, yay.
We see Shigaraki's fingers everywhere as the heroes are trying to contain them and avoid them. If Shigaraki wanted to defeat the heroes, why wouldn't he just completely fill the coffin with his fingers? Shigaraki does some monologuing about his new world, but Bakugo has 0 Fs to give.
I did kind of enjoy the Bakugo dialogue here.
I like that he is a foul-mouthed individual. Like someone who like wants to be the number one hero, but like his like best genius put it like told him he's like with that demeanor, you can't be the number one hero. Like you have to change some things, and he just didn't listen.
Bakugo's equipment levels up as he shoots Shigaraki and calls for Best Jeanist and Mirko to attack as well. Superhero team up! We get a flashback to the very first episode of My Hero, where Bakugo is being tracked by the slime villain. We then get flashbacks of other times Deku has helped him. Go, Bakugo, go! I love how Best Jeanist is so surprised by Bakugo that he calls him by his ridiculous hero name for once.
I did really enjoy that. I thought that was pretty awesome.
Murder God or whatever, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to. What's the full
Dynamite.
title?
Super mega explosion, killer god of the explosions to the nth degree, or something of that nature.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't write
kind of
it down.
close. It was
It's very long and it's very ridiculous.
something like super explosion, murder god dynamite, or something like that.
Yeah, I think
Something
that
of
might
that
be it.
nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very funny to have, Best Jeanist in the early seasons was like, that's a dumb name. You can't do that. And then for him to just be like, oh, that is you. It's like, oh, it finally clicked. I guess that is his name.
We learned the business course students are recording the support staff or support class. We've never seen or heard of the business course before. We learned their job is to promote the heroes to bridge the heroes to society. I could have done without this scene.
I
I
also
also thought,
thought it
what
was
is the
dumb.
point of this? Yeah.
Very dumb. I think they mentioned this class in like season 2, and then we never hear of it again. So it's really weird that we're bringing up these individuals now at this point in the story. Like it just unnecessary.
Like sometimes you have to break up action a little bit to keep people invested, but I think they break it up a little too much.
Yeah, the flow is not good.
Back to Bakugo versus Shigaraki. Shigaraki is able to block Bakugo's attacks. We learn that Bakugo directs his explosions to not hurt the innocent, which also makes them stronger. Shigaraki breaks Bakugo's wrist, and I lost it at the sorry to break it to you pun.
I love puns.
Best Jeanist and Mirko go in for the attack, but we learn Shigaraki is more powerful up close. Bakugo is looking in rough shape, and Shigaraki tells him that he's been using him as bait to end the episode. But before we talk about our general thoughts on this episode, Turtle, why don't you tell us about the new end credit song?
I would be happy to. Although, to be honest, I don't have a whole lot to say about it. The new closing theme is called Roku Tose by Zarame, and it's a solid pop rock song. Not much else to say about this one. The visuals are just kind of a collage of like the heroes and the villains, and it's all kind of basic. But I'd give the song a 3 out of 5. It's average. It's fine.
Well, what did you two think of this episode?
Go ahead, Sean.
Um, this episode is fine. Um, that's mostly what it is, though. The Endeavor moment was pretty cool with Prominence Burn, but you almost feel like it's a bit of a waste because the villain's like, haha, I have a different plan. Yeah, you're like, ah, I see. Why are we doing all this again? But that's fine. The payoff is interesting for that. And also, it's either going to be in the next episode or the episode after it. Something real crazy is going to happen. That is not like the reincarnation thing. And like your jaw is gonna drop to the floor. So get ready for that.
I'm mildly excited now. Not the biggest fan of this one. Again, My Hero seems to be kind of disappointing me for the final season. I feel like the flow is just off. Too many cutaways. Please finish a sentence, aka a fight, before we start jumping around to other fights. I know a lot of shows do this, but it annoys the hell out of me. And I would rather you finish a train of thought and then move on to the next battle before you jump back and forth, and it just makes me dizzy. And I forget what's happening in the other fights because we cut away and stop that. So I feel like there's interesting stuff that's happening here, but the flow is just wrong. And I don't know what we could do to fix it, but I'm not really happy with the flow of this. So I'm intrigued about Sean's tease of what's coming up next, but not my favorite episode. And honestly, I feel like this final season has been disappointing me for most of it. Not that I hate the show.
We don't know it's the final season, but I
It
agree. The
kind of
pacing has
seems
been
that way.
weird.
I finished the manga. It's gonna be the final season, definitely. Oh wait, hold on. How many episodes is this season?
I don't know.
If it's only like 12, then it will not be the final season. If they're going to like 20 something, it will be.
I mean, we changed songs on episode 9, so at least 18? I don't know.
I feel like they would have said this was the final season before it started. It looks like it's supposed to be 16 episodes.
I like the Attack on Titan final season. It's called Attack on Titan, the final season, and the final season has 3 seasons, I think.
Oops. Miscalculation there.
I always thought that was weird.
I haven't watched it yet though.
Yeah, I have. I watched Attack on Titan season 1, and then I fell off of it, and I've not gotten back. I've been told many times to go back and watch it. It gets really good. I've been told season 2 is not so good, but then it gets better. I don't know. I saw season 1, I liked it, and then that was it for me. But one of these days I'll get back to it.
I've had some random anime fans on TikTok be like, Attack on Titan is the single greatest piece of fiction media ever created. And I'm like, hold up, no way.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm also
there's no
doubting
way
that.
it's that good, right? I mean, I'll watch it and I'll judge, but yeah, I have some doubts about being. I mean, I have no doubt it's good. I don't know if it's greatest piece of fiction media ever created good.
Yeah, I have doubts on that claim, but I will give it a fair watch one of these days. I will give it a chance. I liked season 1. I thought it was good.
Well, I think it's time for the waifu of the week. Turtle, hit us with your waifu.
All right, I'll kick it off. For this week, my waifu of the week, I'm choosing Kafka and the entire third division. I mentioned in the breakdown, I really love the teamwork, different characters backing up other characters, and I just thought the chemistry between everybody was really, really great. And of course, the Kafka reveal at the end to save his comrades at the risk of his own future. I mean, he could die. They could just kill him because he's a kaiju. So who knows? But just the whole third division crew, they really, they all had a chance to shine in some degree at least. And I just thought it was really great. So Kafka and the entire third division get my waifu of the week.
Sean, who's your waifu?
Yeah, I mean, I like Turtle's pick, but for me, I narrowed things down. Of the third division members, number one, I think you could pick Kafka almost every single episode to be the waifu of the week. But this one, I went with Mina because Hoshino was like wrecked until Mina showed up. Now I understand Kaiju number 8 probably could have done the job, but still, I don't know. I just love seeing Mina like fire off those cannon shots, and I think it's cool she has a pet tiger. So I choose Mina this week.
I thought this week was very difficult to pick one because of how many good options there were. But I'm going to go with Hoshina. It was great to learn his backstory and how, really, at the end of the day, he's a lot like Kafka. No one gave him the time of day. Everyone told him to give up. So to see them, like, the similarities was really cool. So I'm going to go with Hoshin this week. Thank you all for joining us this week as we watched Kaiju number 8 in My Hero Academia. We hope you join us next week for episode 73 of the Anime Banter podcast, where we will continue our watch of My Hero Academia Season 7 in Kaiju number 8. Please give us a 5-star review on all platforms that allow reviews. If you are listening on YouTube, please like the video, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. The Anime Banter podcast can be found on Facebook, X, Instagram, Threads, and YouTube. Thank you all for joining, and we will talk to you next week.